Okay, so I'm going to do a review of Dune, and there's just a picture of Adrian Edmondson because, you know, Adrian Edmondson, he could have been in Dune. He could have been in Dune, and it would have been a better casting decision than the fucking gob shit that they did. So I've got some notes with timestamps. So the first thing I need to do is bring up the actual movie itself. Um, if I had to summarise it, I'd say nice set design, shame about everything else. Casting is shit, music is shit, script is wank. Nice sets though, ornithopters look good. Um, it's of the three Dune adaptations I've seen, the David Lynch one, the sci-fi miniseries, I would say it's the third best. Which is to say, it's not bad, but considering it was made in current year plus one, it's well, anyway, let's get to the thing. So let's just load the movie. So the first note I wrote to myself was 00 weird throat singing ethnic. Blah blah blah. There we go. That was good, wasn't it? That sets the tone for the rest of the film. So what's the next one? 101, a nice desert shot. See, I've got some nice things to do. So is there a way I can like skip to a certain time, or do I just go click on it, go there? I'm going to mute the audio unless it needs it, so it doesn't really need it. Well, I'll just go forward and do it. Oh, hang on. Pause it just. There we go. Fair use notice. I'm showing copyrighted clips for educational purposes as I need to show something to illustrate my point. And the point being is, I want to talk about this film. I want to talk about it from an artistic standpoint. I want to criticise it where it could have done a bit better. So, the first scene I got here is nice desert shot. Spice looks like dust from endless space. Right, so first of all, I need to show you dust from endless space. Right, so here we go. Here's an image of... this is from Endless Space 2, and it's showing space vampires, and they're extracting life essence from people. And you've got all these glowy golden lines, which are very pretty, aren't they? I mean, it's... and that represents dust, which is currency in it. And won't go too much into that. Suffice to say, dust is that universe's equivalent of spice. So let's go to the film and have a look at that instead. So I'm going to, let's see, window capture. Oh, hang on, let's put that there so people know this is fair use. Right, let's do this bit. Don't need any audio. Let's face it, the soundtrack's by Hans Zimmer. It's a bit shit. So it's a bit boring, it's a bit bland, it's a bit blah, blah, blah. So we don't really need to listen to it. So let's just have a look at this, right? So you see this? There's like some sand blowing. And say, oh, look at that. Pretty glittery bits. Isn't that nice? Do I want to show the nice bit? Okay, some stuff happens. You don't need to see it. Or, I mean, if you want to see the film, you can see it. So the next bit is 129. What's 129? That's 133. 123. 133 with 23. I wish there was a way I could click on that and like specify an exact time. I don't think this is the right tool for the job. But my note here is, what? This is not a Fremen. Okay, so I know how to do this. Right, pause it. And okay, yeah. So this is not a Fremen. That's a sub-Saharan. It's Fremen. How do you? Right. So I need to get into proper book lore here because this ostensibly is based on the book Dune, written by Frank Herbert. And in that, he describes the Fremen quite accurately. They're all one tribe. They're called Zen-Sunni Wanderers. Zen-Sunni being Frank Herbert's idea that 8,000 years from now, because this is set in 10191 Anno Domini, although it later gets retconned to 10,000 years after Guild. But no, it was originally, it was like the idea is like this is set 8,000 years in the future. Humanity has had AI, thinking machines enslaved it. They've had what's known as the Butlerian Jihad. They've declared war on all thinking machines, and humanity lives now in quite highly advanced feudal societies where humans do the roles that machines would have done. And so, thanks to the wonders of modern casting and just blackwashing, this is the depiction we see here of the first Fremen. And so what's he doing? Well, they're doing a raid on spice harvesting, so he's lining up what looks like a weapon, or maybe it's supposed to be an oil lens. I don't know who she is. And then what comes after this then? Oh, you're right. Okay, so yeah, it got some soldiers marching. That's not important. So I'm not really going to talk about the substance and the story, because honestly, if you want that, read the book, listen to the audiobook, watch the David Lynch adaptation, watch the Dune mini-series. And I'll tell you what, I've watched the Dune mini-series, and I'm going to show a little bit of that once I've got through this film. So 2 minutes 40 is the next timestamp I've got. So let's just go to the. This is really just a look at the film and various bits in it which I thought were worth pointing out and saying to people, like, I don't like this. Oh, there we go. The 2 minutes 43 seconds. That's close enough. I mean, got some big ships in the background. You've got soldiers all lined up, and yeah, you know, it's quite an impressive shot. Yeah, that gives a good indication of size. I think that visually that's quite impressive. That I liked that. Although these colours are so drabbed and washed out, and the only bit I can think is that Dennis Villeneuve, because I saw it with Blade Runner 2 as well, maybe he's trying to distance himself from the way Marvel movies are done and the oversaturated colours on that. But it's very drab, and I know it's set on a desert planet, but it doesn't have to be that way. And certainly interior shots don't have to be all drab and unsaturated like this. Right, 3 minutes 50. This is a bad one. Ugly Jessica. So 3 minutes 50. Can I get there? That's not Paul Atreides. Stupid hair as well. That's dumb. This actually, the long floppy hair is going to be really stupid later on. I'll probably go to it, but 3 minutes. There she is. Right, that there is supposed to be Jessica, and let's have a look at Jessica from the David Lynch 1984 one, because I think that's the best. That's the best one. Right, there we go. There's Jessica Atreides. Let's just move I'm going to move the text down. How do I do that? That text is there. So if I put it down there we go. Right, so there you go. Regal bearing. You know, looks all right. You know, that's it's not a face that's going to curdle milk. And I think more importantly than that, look at her hair. It's auburn. It's copper. It's red. She's a redhead. And this is quite important because, spoilers, I assume if you're going to watch this, you've already seen Dune. If not, pause it, go and watch the film, go and read the book, and come back to this video. Right, now you're back. Yeah, the reason Jessica's got red hair is because her father is Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, and he's redheaded. And that's quite an prominent thing. So for Jessica to have red hair makes sense, because it's like, yes, you are the daughter of Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. But. Let's go to this one. There we are. And I'm just going to move that there, make it a bit... Right, there we go. No. Oh, okay. I skipped ahead a bit. This is a good scene. So I think I'm done with Jessica. So what's the next bit I got? 5 minutes 40, nice attention to detail, Galact description, diagram of still sit. What's this? Oh, this is 5 minutes 44 seconds. So can I just skip back a bit? Right, here we go. Right. And so he's got his back to the door. Fufa Howard always tells him off for doing that. But look at that. Look, it's got squiggly lines. That's pretty cool. That, I mean, was probably from the Dune glossary, a Dune encyclopedia, which I've never read myself. I mean, I call myself a Dune fan, and I've never read the encyclopedia. So, again, there were some very talented people working on this, and unfortunately, team effort. Imagine like you had a bunch of chefs, right, and they're Michelin starred, or at least they're like bloody good. You know, the sort of chefs that you go, oh, if I wanted a meal which I could, you know, which is like worth paying for, I would go and see these chefs. But then there's another chef that comes in and he does the ridiculous thing with sprinkling salt and charges like £14,000 for a bottle of wine and calls himself Salt Bay. Salt Bay is basically in the shitting up the rest of the film and the effort that all the set and prop designers are doing with the casting and the acting and the music and just, oh god, it's like, it's so good. And then it's like a turd in a punch bowl. You know, you got the fruit there and it's a nice combination of booze to juice, and then someone's just gone and done the steaming shit in it, and it's like, you know, it was good at one point, but then someone decided to have the addition of some steaming shit in the punch bowl, and now the rest of it's ruined. And I want to like this. I know there's some people that have said like, oh, it's really good actually. You know, it's brave and it's bold and it's shown like movie execs that you can do stuff like this and you can have mature stuff. Bullshit. Right, but anyway, I don't. Honestly, the less amount of time I can spend talking about this, the better. I don't know when this came out. Oh, it came out like a month ago, didn't it? And it's taken me this long to do a fucking review because I can't stand the damn thing. 6 minutes 16 space. Right, so 6 minutes 16. This is another bit where I'm going to praise it because I'm saying like, oh yeah, set designers are doing a good job here. Of course, did I make a point about this? Poor casting choice for Gurney Halleck. No, I haven't mentioned it. Right, it looks more like Xerxes than Leto, frankly. If I was going to say, like, oh, I need to cast someone as a Persian in a film about Persians, like Xerxes or Cyrus the Persian, you know, the Great Persian, I'd be like, yeah, this bloke looks Persian. Yeah, he definitely looks like someone that comes from the Middle East. So I... right, 6 minutes 16. 6 minutes, 6:36, 6:16. Here we go. Quite nice. I like it. You know, it's supposed to be a precious substance, and if you've seen Dune, you know that they don't have interstellar travel without this. And look at that, you know, pinching a little bit of spice. Very nice. I like it. All right. So you see, again, there's some good elements in this fruit punch. It's just a shame about the big turd and the rest of it. Shitting it up. What's this next one? 709, 13B50. What's 13B50 mean? Oh, this is close enough. This is the judge of the change, right? So this is the appointments from Kaitane, which is the capital of the known universe where Empress Damcrino comes from. So not the judge of the change, the herald of the change said, right, Harkonnen's 80-year lease on Arrakis is up. It's your turn to go there and mine the spice. Have fun and make a lot of profit. So here we go. Now, the orange helmets, apparently that represents guild navigators. I'm going to pause the film right there because I need to show you what an actual guild fucking navigator looks like. It's not someone that can walk with their own two bloody legs. Right, here we go. This, as it says there, is third stage guild navigator. That's what happens to a human being that has been mutated by the spice. And you know what? The 1984 film, I know a lot of people say it's camp, but when it came to the actual like elements of stuff, they got it right here. Limbs have atrophied. They just float around in a tank of spice gas, mostly in zero gravity. But there is a scene with a navigator talking with the Emperor in the 1984 film. Go and watch the 1984 film if you haven't watched it. It's really good. Don't care what people say, it's good. Put it this way, people shit on it, but if it wasn't for that film, I would have never read the book. So let's go back to the previous thing, VLC. That's the one. Right, so here's VLC, and oh yeah, I have to get rid of this screen so I can see what I'm doing. 13B50. Right, so despite being 13% of the acting population, half of the fucking actors in this look like this bloke. And his acting is just, it's not worth writing home about. It's bad. It's really bad. It's like, was he on the Weather Channel or something? Is he like a weather reporter? Because what are you doing in this film? What's changing life? Just like, look at me, I am the actor now. Anyway, 7 minutes 30 seconds in. So, right, that there is supposed to be Gurney Halleck. Gurney Halleck has had his face broken numerous times because he was in the slave pits of Gidi Prime and beaten up and tortured numerous times by the Harkonnens. So every bone in his body's broken. And this guy here, I mean, they haven't even, like, look, I can just try and put the cursor there. They haven't even really bothered giving him an ink vine scar. So it's just, let's go and find an actual picture of what Gurney Halleck's supposed to look like. Right, here's some depictions of Gurney Halleck. So there's Patrick Stewart as Gurney Halleck. Wasn't a good choice, I will say that. This is the bloke from the Dune 2000 miniseries. He was actually pretty good, but the face is just a bit too pudgy. This is Gurney Halleck from the 1992 Cryo game. I would say that's probably one of the most... Now, also, this is the first time I saw Gurney Halleck, because before I watched the film, I played this game. And then my cousin said, "Hey, do you want to see the..." It was so quaint at the time. I was like, oh, they made a movie of this game? I mean, this game doesn't seem that big budget. I mean, I can't imagine the movie being that good. And then I watched the movie and I was like, holy shit, this movie's actually pretty good. And then realised, like, oh, wait, it's... So what about this guy here? I mean, again, no, it looks too handsome. His face is not beat up. You know what? I think if someone said to me, what about him? Oh, okay, that's Josh Brolin in something else. And that's Josh Brolin? There we go. I mean, that looks like Gurney Halleck. You know, his face is all beat up. He's got his 9-string ballast set. I can't imagine that bloke there playing any stringed instrument, let alone a 9-string ballast set. What about that? I mean, yeah. That looks pretty... That looks like Gurney Halleck. I mean, look at it. He's got an ink vine scar. He's got an ugly nose, ruddy complexion. That's Gurney Halleck. But if I was to cast Gurney Halleck, let's just go and get a picture of him. I would have this guy. I would have Mickey Rourke. I would have the guy that was in The Wrestler. Now, you see, Mickey Rourke is an actor, and then he became a professional boxer. And as you can see, look, I mean, he's got the face of someone that's beat up. He's got cauliflower ears. He's been through the wars. He's got a broken eye socket. This guy is someone whose facial bones have been broken. And plus, because he was a a boxer. He's somebody that actually knows how to vom sex symbol zum Opfer. Citation needed there, German website. But this is a guy with boxing who has got combat experience. He would, if I was to cast on, be like, can we get Mickey Rourke to do it? You know, he doesn't have to have finesse. Gurney Halleck didn't have finesse. He just had grit and determination. But this would have been... I mean, you could say, oh, he's a bit too old to be playing Gurney Halleck now. I don't care. I'd have had him. Patrick Stewart wasn't suitable. And this Josh Brolin wasn't suitable either. So what's the next one I got up? So we got poor casting choice. 7 minute 25 doesn't look nor sound Greek to me. So this is... Oh, okay. So I actually got reversed the film a bit. Right, so automated AI systems, fair use notice. I'm showing copyright clips for educational purposes and I need to show something to illustrate my point. In this case, we all need to hear it. So let's have image 1, which is the desert. You don't need to see its face, but we need to hear. This is Duke Leto Atreides, a name which goes back to the old plays of Agamemnon and stuff like that. So you're thinking of Greek, right? So what do Greeks sound like? Well, let's listen to Oscar Isaacs doing a Duke Leto Atreides. Let's listen to him saying this Gilos and the Tasikiti. Okay, so he's looking at his concubine. They're not married to Jessica.
Smile, Gurney.
So that was Duke Leto Atreides saying to Gurney, smile. And this is the one joke in the film where Gurney says, I am smiling.
I am smiling.
Yeah.
How much will it cost them?
Right, okay. So this bit, it's sort of like to explain to the audience that one of his advisors isn't exactly human, he's a mentat. So, right. Let's go back to window capture so you can see it. Let's see. Oh yeah, defective mentat, right. This is 7 minute 34. So again, I need to have sound and you need to watch this. So again, AI, this bit here. Come on. Let's get this. Fuck's sake. I didn't want to change the text. I just want the text to be visible. Can we do that? Image there. Text there. Right, okay. So this, let's move it up to here. Right. See? Fair use notice. I can't do this review without actually showing some... Because this is a movie format. It's not slideshows and it's not clips of sound. So let's have a look at how they do mentats in this godforsaken film.
Traveling all this way for this formality.
3 guild navigators, a total of 1.
Right, and of course it's doing this rendering issue, so let's try that again. So you see that bloke on the right? Right? That's Fufu Howard. That fat bastard there is Warrior Mentat, Master of Assassins. So that fat lard ass can, slip in unseen into certain places, and he's Warrior Mentat, yeah, Master of Assassins, Stealer of Pies.
Ernie, I am smiling.
Right, okay, yeah, we've done this bit.
How much will it cost them?
So, I'm thinking about it. What was this? A bit of brown lipstick. So he's had to think about it, and then his lips come back. So a bit of brown lipstick. No, fucking no. Oh, this is going to take me a long time to get through, isn't it? I've only got through like the first 10 minutes of the film. But you know what? It's going to take as long as it's going to take. So here we got Brad Dourif as Mentat Page de Vries, and we see you've got this red staining around here. Sapphire. I mean, they got a bit here saying, this doesn't appear in the book, so this is apocrypha as well. But it's a bit of stimulant. They use it for thinking. There's also another poor choice for casting of FIFA Howard, but probably not as bad. But yeah, there we go. Some staying and what's this one? Was that? Oh, that was from the Westwood Studios game. I think that was June 2000. That one. Do we have another example of it? And that's from June 2, Back for the Rakis. Doesn't really show it that well. Point being is, right, that Mentats, they got bushy eyebrows for some reason. Don't know why. And they got red stained lipped for Sappho use because, you know, they get through it. They get through that stuff. It helps them think. There we go. There's a Mentat drinking a Sappho juice to do their first order approximations, as they called it. Right, so what's the next bit in this? Defective Mentat. We've done that bit. Padisher. It's Padishah, you hack. Right, so I've established that the 13B50 in this is not a very good actor. So let's get to 30... Right, so it's... What's the bit where he says it? Padishah, right. So we're going to need a bit of... going to need some audio. Look at them, breathing spice gas, just so you know, definitely a definitely a navigator.
By the grace of Shaddam, fourth of House Carino, ascendant to the golden lion throne of...
Wait, did you hear it? Let's go for it back. Let's go for it again.
By the grace of Shaddam, fourth of House Carino, ascendant to the golden lion throne of Padishah, emperor of the known...
Padishah? That's Padishah. Everyone calls it Padishah. It's written Padishah. It's pronounced Padishah. Someone was saying, oh, they should have had like someone who speaks Arabic helping these actors with pronunciation. And then someone else was saying like, oh yeah, but it's the future. Maybe pronunciation's different. No, I think that's a good idea. That's a good call. Seeing as there's a lot of like Islamic and Arabic influences in this, if you're saying Padishah Emperor, you know, I think it's worth getting like some Arab speaker to say, well, I would say it this way. No, actually, they would say it that way. So anyway, that's this bit here. 1032. Poor casting choice number 3. That's not Duncan. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm sort of a bit ambivalent about it, but let's get to it. So, yeah, no, you're not Paul Atreides, mate. Hello, I'm Duncan Idaho. Durr. The look of disappointment in his face is like, you're not Duncan Idaho, mate. No, really, I am Duncan Idaho. Durr. Mate, no, you're not. You're not Duncan Idaho. Oh, right. Some people are going to be like, oh, how do you know what Duncan Idaho is? Oh, Idris Elba could have... Yeah, Idris Elba could play James Bond. Idris Elba could play Queen Elizabeth I. The thing about modern casting is Idris Elba is wanted for every role and everything ever. So let's just do in like Duncan Idaho. Duncan Idaho. There's a... Right. You know what? Like, I liked him as an actor. I don't think he was a good Duncan Idaho. That's the first Duncan... What? Why did that... No, I click on that, and then it... So that's the first time I saw Duncan Idaho. Pudgy cheeks again. Actually, you know what? Later on in Babylon 5 with the... those... what do they call them? There was a Centauri, that's it. The Centauri copying that hairstyle. But so here's a depiction of Duncan Idaho, and I think to myself, yeah, that, you know what, that's Duncan Idaho. There is actually in the book they describe his appearance, and it's you know that thing when someone says, I don't know what art is, but when I see it, I knows it. That's Duncan, Idaho. That is. And what's this depiction here? Dune Amino? I've never heard of this. I don't know who that is. I mean, that's an interesting design, but that's not Duncan, Idaho. That's Duncan, Idaho in the sci-fi series. You know what? Yeah, actually, that is pretty close. His voice doesn't sound like what I imagined Duncan Idaho would sound like, but it was pretty close. And what I've got here, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty like, you know, what you expect. The 25 best Duncan, Idaho ideas on Pinterest. Yeah, Duncan, Idaho ideas. The 1,000 Sons of Idaho. Yeah, so I mean that looks pretty broody, but that's not Duncan. Oh yeah, that's Jason Momoa as Duncan, Idaho. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like that's Duncan, Idaho. Find someone who looks like that, cast him in the role, and if he can, you know, if he can use a sword, so much the better. If he can't, get a stunt double in. So anyway, who the fuck is that? No, mate, that's not. No. See, the problem is people say he's got. When it says like he's got a dark look to him, it's like dark like a goat, dark as in dark hair, dark as in dark eyes, dark eyebrows. That's a dark look. That's just a darkie. Dark look, darkie. Dark look, darkie. There's a difference. You gotta know the difference. Otherwise, oh shit. I've done all of this, and you haven't seen anything that I've been shown because it's all wrong. Right, look. That's Duncan, Idaho, okay? Yeah? That's Duncan, Idaho. And then briefly, let's go back to... make it big again. Let's go back and... where is it? There was further up here. There's Duncan from the Lynch film. Wasn't the best cast choice. There's the Duncan that I first saw. That Duncan, Idaho here. That's Duncan, Idaho. Where's the one? That's it. That's from the 2000 miniseries, which is really quite pretty, and I'm going to show a couple of clips from that. Right, so the next one I've got 1756. More nice sets. So 1756, 35, 45, 55. There we go. We got a globe there, and we got some nice. So again, lots of nice attention to detail. It's just a shame. It's like that's not going to carry the rest of the film. 1959. Nice highliner, but wrong. Nice highliner, but wrong. There's Beast Raban. There we go. And that's supposed to be Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, but doesn't look fat enough. There's some of his boy servants. He's a proud LGBT ally as Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, but it's really downplayed in this film. Anyway. 1956. So 1933, 43, 53. Right, so let's have a look at some stuff in space. There. That's a highliner. Nice, but... Oh, do you like that? Do you like the squeaky noise? I'm very professional, aren't I? Yes, rather. Looks nice, but, I mean, hollow in the middle, it's not very economical. I mean, the highliner's just... There's all this big thing about, like, making the cylinders as big and space efficient as possible. But never mind. So next, 2043, Hideous. Is she a woman? 2043. 2035, 45. Oh yeah, this is Jessica, right? So Jessica is a Bene Gesserit. Imagine like a nun, but also imagine like imagine a sisterhood of competent women that have got a eugenic breeding program which they've been doing for millennia upon millennia to produce their Kwisatz Haderach, the shortening of the way. This woman here is not Jessica. She's an overly emotional, ugly, hideous, and I'm looking at this bit and think to myself, is that really a woman? Maybe it's it's one of those things that's just saying, like, you know, I think you're stunning and brave. And I'm sorry if whoever you are, if you are a woman, but this film does not depict you in the flattering light, and you have not acted the role of Jessica Atreides correctly. You haven't. Jessica Atreides... Right, so what's happening here is she's upset because this is the scene where Paul Atreides is being tested, and he's having to undergo a lot of pain. And she's outside, making sure none of the house guards come in to interrupt the process, the testing. And she's having a good old cry about it. And frankly, it's like, yeah, she was terrified. And in the books it said she was terrified. But she didn't show any outward signs of being terrified. And she was silently reciting the litany against fear. Because the thing about the Bene Gesserit, the one thing you could say about them is immense control. It's like, what's the hallmark of a Bene Gesserit? Oh, they've got immense control. Over what? Over everything. They've got immense control of themselves, immense control over other people. If you wanted, like, the epitome of a self-controlled being, it's a Bene Gesserit sister. So, 21, exactly 21 minutes in, got a glow globe. Yeah, it's a glow globe. Look, I mean, it just floats there, it's glowing, and I thought, again, that's a very cool attention to detail. And this text, which I put here about the fair usage thing, it's in the way. See that? It's pretty. It's very good. Certainly better than the 2000 series depiction of glow globes. So, some things are going alright for this film. 24 minutes in, wrong. 22 minutes in. I mean, I just... Oh, yeah, that's Dr. Sim Il Kung Yue. So... Nice attention to detail, yeah. But again, this is so fucking drab. This is supposed to be Castle Caladan. I mean, it just... it's not nice. Okay, you got the bull up there. Doesn't look like his horns are stained with blood. But this is supposed to be like the grand dining hall, where Duke Leto Atreides is like, no, you're going to have that decapitated bull's head installed in my dining hall. So every time I look at it, I can remind myself of how quickly a duke can be defeated. That, I believe, is known as foreshadowing. So what we got here... wrong. 24 minutes in. Wrong. Right, so this scene, I need to play it. So we'll just go back a bit. So this is the Gom Jabbar scene. Put your hand in the box, etc. What's in the box? Pain, innit? Don't take your hand out of the box. I've got a fucking needle at your throat. One little scratch and you'll be dead. It's the Gom Jabbar. So anyway, he puts his hand in the box, and can I just say that this box, prop department here, you could have done a bit better. Honestly, that this, I don't know. This, like, I would only be on the screen for a few seconds. Yeah, but you're doing a close-up of it, you know. It's just like, you're saying, oh, it's good enough. Come on, we've got a load of other shit to do. But anyway, right? So remember what I said about, like, precise control and stuff like that? It's wavering. It's wavering. It's just like, no. It's like precise muscle control. Like what they do this thing called prana bindu yoga exercises, where they like move individual muscle groups on their own. So a Bene Gesserit would be able to hold a needle like that. But frankly, I think this needle it's let's have a look at it again, right? This needle, it's all wrong. It's more intricate than what it needs to be. And frankly, like, let's see if I can find a screenshot of the original film. Right, so this time making sure I've actually got what I want to show you display. Right, there's a gom jabbar, you know, it's a needle on the finger. It's like, there's a needle on, you know, and where's the actual scene from? There it is. So imagine you've got that in your finger, you're resting your hand on someone's neck, and you've just got your finger resting there, right? It's a much better way of doing it. It really is. I mean, it's like, from practically an actor standpoint, it's like, right, okay, you're a human being. You're not like some master of muscle control. You're not a shallowing monk, and you know. So this is actually pretty good because, like, for the 1 or 2 seconds it's actually shown on the screen, there's no wavering of it. This old actress who's actually very good. I can't remember her name. Sorry. She does that scene superbly, and it's just like, for whatever yeah, that screenshot there is something. But let's see this. Oh, for fuck's sake! Move that down, right? But this one here is just no. It's wrong. Okay, I think wrong was quite a good thing to do it. So what's the next scene? 2501. So 2541. So his hand's in the box, you know, he's pretty calm about it. But this is Jessica, right, who's like a full, like, Benny Gesserit sister. She's not a Reverend Mother, she's a sister. And she's like, you know, she's going like, what? She having an autistic little flap about it. Yeah, just no, just no. It's not right. 3148, the Seleucid Ball. Well, I already showed you that one, so let's just go ahead. You know, Benny Gesserit fucked off. Oh yeah, look, there's a nice scene. You know, whoosh, some big thing coming out the sea. Again, you know, nice set pieces, really nice set pieces. So the film's got some stuff going for it, but it's not enough to carry it through. Yeah, put the Seleucid Bowl in the thing. Alright. Okay. 3554. Nice ornithopter. Oh yeah, this is probably the highlight of the film, right? So let's have this ornithopter scene. So we'll have sound with this one as well. What was it? 3554. 3554. Please, Sir Villeneuve, please let us have a bit of colour in it. And he's like, denied. But sir, we've managed to match all the colours so that it looks like as drab as the sand. You may proceed. Dennis Villeneuve really doesn't like the use of too many colours. I think he gets a bit upset. Must have been hard to do Blade Runner 2 for him. But anyway, some boring talking, some more talk. Here we go. See that? I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. Tell you what, that's a lot better than the ornithopter scenes in the 1991 film. So yeah, that's bits alright. 3737, drab set design, shit music. I've alluded to this before. So 3740, 3730. So right, this is the criticism I have with the film. It's the art style is just, it's dull. The shield wall wasn't an artificial construction. It was a mountain range, but whatever. Because he actually says, "Oh, that's the shield wall." So this is supposed to be the city of Arrakeen, right? I mean, mate. Blah, 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 blah. What the fuck is that? What is that? Shall we listen to that again? There we go. Hans Zimmer, world-renowned acclaimed composer. I'll do some blah 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 sounds. There we go. That'll do. Hans Zimmer is boring. Sheathed a crysknife without blooding. Oh yeah, this is a cardinal sin. As a proper Dune anorak, I can't let this shit slide. Right, so it is the unveiling of a knife, right? And then she says all the right stuff. Blah, blah, blah. And then back it goes in, and it hasn't drawn blood. And it was like a very important rule of the fucking thing was saying that you can't draw a crisp knife without drawing blood. So the shout-out Mapes, because that's the one who's holding it, she ran it across the palm of her hand, put it back in the sheath, and Jessica noticed how quickly a blood clotted. And then she surmised that it must be an evolutionary adaptation to extreme moisture loss, or even the blood clots quickly. So yeah, sheathed a crisp knife. Well, 40 minutes in, hunter-killer scene, very good. 43. It's better than the original Dune film. So he's doing some more studying here, and they're talking about the some vegetation which exists. Here we go. See? Floating around on suspensors, and he's looking at it. In the scene, it's very close. So if you read it, it's like the door opens, Charlotte Mapes comes in, and that distracts the hunter-killer, which allows Paul to grab it, and he deals with it. But yeah, so there it is. Oh, look, there's the Harkonnen, and he's got his Oculus Rift on, and he's in the Facebook meta. He's just chilling, doesn't need anything else. So, yeah, that seems kind of cool. 45:33, this is not June. 45:33. 45:34. 45:34. Oh, right, okay, yeah. So whatever this creature is, that's not June. That doesn't come up anywhere in June. It's a Harkonnen pet, because the Bene Gesserit were talking, and, like, what? No, just, like, I don't know if that was supposed to... It's like, it does nothing to the addition of the film. It just sticks out like a sore black thumb. 51:16, spitting scene. 51:16. The spitting scene. 51:16. So they're all talking. So that's Stilgar. And Duncan Idaho, he also spits on the table. You see, because they all thought he was being really inciting, spitting on the table. And then Duncan says, yeah, bear in mind how precious moisture is on this planet. What he's done is a mark of respect. He says, we accept your offer and the spirit for which it was received. And then, as a mark of respect, Duncan Idaho does the same. And he's got, sort of like dirt look on his face. Just... and then Xerxes, Cyrus the Persian, Oscar Isaac, he does the same, and then he nods and goes, good, very good, and then Master of the Fried Chicken over there, he's just sort of smiling, and it's just fuck me, it's bad. Right, 54:44. I put it as wrong, so let's go to 54:44. I should have got drunk before I did this.
Change, sire. Dr. Leah
Oh,
Khan.
God, no! Oh, God. Oh, no. Her face makes me sick. This is Dr. Reverend Shaniqua Kynes. Fucking no, it's not. Sandy blonde complexion, blonde hair. Basically, like... If you want to know what Dr. Leah Kynes, the planetologist, is as opposed to Dr. Reverend Shaniqua Kynes, let's show you an actual, like, real-life human being that looks like Dr. Leah Kynes perfectly. There you go. That there is Dr. Leah Kynes. Sandy blonde hair, beard, blue eyes, blue within blue, he's a Fremen. Oh, and another thing. Have you noticed, like, the difference between this man, right, and Dr. Reverend Schneek kinds. Well, let's have a look at the new DunC, because this film's DunC, right? Right? Now, I'm pretty sure that there is a female. She's black, right? This is important later on, because Chani, who is Paul Atreides' concubine, love interest, and the one he keeps having dreams about and seeing on Dune, is described as elfin-figured, beautiful. And guess what? She's the daughter of Dr. Liet Kynes. So it just goes to say that Sean Young has got a bit of a passing resemblance to Max von Sydow. It's very good casting. But yeah, what we got next? Oh, here we go. Some notes I wrote. This will become relevant later on. Sardaukar are Knights Templar, with the Emperor equaling the Pope. Yeah, except this wasn't written by me, by the way. I would say, because you see, Seleucus Secundus, it's a prison planet, and they're kind of like, they're vicious killers. Jesuits, or the Bene Gesserit, funny enough, Frank Herbert was raised by his Bene Gesserit, his Jesuit mother and aunt. So a lot of the Bene Gesserit are based on competent females, what are Jesuit trained. The Bene Gesserit pit the royal houses against each other to divide and conquer, the same way medieval Europe royalties got fucked. Again, these aren't my words, someone else. He says, I view Fremen as an allusion to free men, the Fremen, who can live in society without falling under the clutches of the Matrix. You only fall under the Matrix control if you are predictable, produce a pattern, which the worms partially allude to. Those who can see the Matrix. So the whole point about the Fremen is that you can't walk in a predictable fashion on the desert. I mean, that's the worms are attracted to any vibrations, so that's why they do a thing called the random walk to mimic the natural sounds you would have in the desert. Technology tends towards avoidance of risks by investors. Uncertainty is ruled out if possible. People generally prefer the predictable. Few recognise how destructive this can be, how it imposes severe limits on variability, and thus makes whole populations fatally vulnerable to the shocking ways our universe can throw the dice. I think that's very important. I think the more domesticated we are, the more we lose our human spirit. And I think Dune, that's one of the very important things about Dune, is it's just, you gotta be free. You can't be, if you're locked down, you lose what it is to be a human. So 54, 55, yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go, right. So let's just go to this bit.
My Lord Duke, welcome to Arrakis.
Yeah.
You're the Imperial Ecologist.
Just doesn't even attempt to sound like Fremen. I know Fremen doesn't sound like some hood rat.
Thank you for the still suits.
Sire, I must check the integrity of these suits.
Yeah, this sound effect gets overplayed so much in movies. Like, steel doesn't always sound like it's rasping against steel or a whetstone. Just don't. It's not necessary. So 1 hour, 10 minutes, 3 seconds. Why are Sardaukar not speaking Galach? Right. So it's understood. The Atreides have a battle language, the Harkonnens have battle language, the Sardaukar have a battle language. But in this scene here, which we're getting up to, makes no sense whatsoever for the Sardaukar to be talking in anything but Galach, right? Because there's an outsider. You're not going to be talking in your own private battle language, which is used for, secure communications, with an outsider, especially not a twisted mentat who's kind of good at deciphering what you're saying. Right. So he said all this stuff in Sardaukar battle language, And there's Piter de
These
Vries.
legions are the finest in the Imperium. Trained by Gurney.
So there's Piter de Vries talking to him in Standard Galach, which, you know, for sake of convenience is always in English, because that's what it is. And then it just the Sardaukar responds to me in Galach. It's like, mate, like, Galach, Galactic, Standard, is the language spoken by the Imperium. You better believe the Sardaukar are the ones who are going to be, like, speaking it the most, what with them being, like, the Emperor's fists. Just, it's like, okay, I get it. It's like, oh, we went to a lot of effort in doing this, you know, so we better do it. And like, it's like, it's inappropriate. It's like saying, like, oh, you know what would make this wedding scene better? If, like, Optimus Prime transformed into a Lamborghini Countach, drove up the aisle, and then opened the doors, and then the bride and groom got inside. And it's like, because, like, Transformers are cool, right? Yeah, but not for weddings and a funeral. So what's this been? No, Jessica does not cry or sob. Right, so... Oh, I'm really sad. I wish I had some Benny Gesserit control over my acting ability. Right. 1:23:10. Oh, this is a great scene. It's actually very pretty, so I'm not gonna... 1:23:10. Laser beams. 1:23:10. Right. So there we go. So ornithopter. Now this ornithopter's shielded, right? And they showed that with like some projectiles hitting it, and the shields flickered. Now, thing about shields in Dune, for those that haven't seen it, you don't shoot a laser beam at it. If you do, there'll be an explosion. It might happen where the shield is. It might happen where the emitter of the las beam is. But there definitely will be an explosion, equivalent to a small atomic blast. And in fact, Duncan Idaho, later on in the book, he does actually use that as a weapon. He had a shield and a las gun pointed at it, and the trigger was set by a mechanical timer to go off after like 10 minutes, and then it blew up a bunch of Sardaukar. And technically didn't count as using atomics. So anyway, we've got the ornithopter, here we go. And that very, very, very pretty. I've got to admit, that's very cool. And it's just, it's nice, but if they had done that, that would have exploded. All the troops on the ground would have exploded. The ship firing it would have exploded. Everything would have blown up. It's just like, it's like, mate, no, you wouldn't use a las gun against a shielded ornithopter. You don't use it don't do it. It's not done. Right, anyway. Nice attention to detail on the ball. 127.46. 127.46. I'm critical of this because it could have been so much better, by the way. It was close, but it wasn't. Oh, look, there's the ball. Yeah. Looking at that, you see, that's what we call foreshadowing. Yeah. 131.16, that's not how it happened in the book. Piter hovered over the Duke. Shields are not airtight. Right, so... the Baron's going to gloat, you see. There's Duke Leto, the Persian. And... what scene is it? 131.16. So that's just afterwards. And then there's the back. So everyone else is collapsing because they've breathed in the poison and died. Piter de Vries dies. But the Baron's shield prevents him from dying. And it's... No. You know, in the book, Piter de Vries looms over him. And the Leto's so fucked with the drugs that knocked him out that he can't... He hallucinates and he thinks he sees the Baron. So he ends up poisoning his Mentat. So what we got next? 134.34. Chani has an elfin face. So whoever this goblin faced bitch is not her then. Right, so let's get to this scene. Well, that's pretty good. They're inside a tent. They got that bit done right. I'll mention that later on actually. 134.34. So 132. 33. Inside the tent. Didn't like this scene. He's coughing because there's spice inside, and it's just like, mate, no. He's just... You're not allergic to it, right? So there we go. That's not Chani. That's not an Alphen face. That's a Gobliner. What we got next? 136.19. 136.19. Okay.
It's coming. I see a holy war spreading across the universe.
A holy war? What would another name for a holy war be? Would it be jihad, perchance? Like the Butlerian jihad? Like the jihad done in Paul Muad'Dib's name? The jihad? Right, 142.23. I've entitled this note, Coffee Please Baldrick, and this time make it so that it doesn't taste like mud and spit. This scene is like, why did you do this? You didn't have to do this. This was... Right, so, the coffee. So, there we go. So, spit and spice. Can you make coffee that doesn't taste like spit and mud, please? You know, they've got catch pockets in their still suits with distilled water in it, right? That's why it's called a still suit, because it's distillation suit. So, shall we use some water from a catch pocket? Nah, let's just gob in it. Yeah, let's just have some warmed up spit and call it coffee. Fuck me. 142.43. 442.23. The coffee scene. 154.32. Oh, look at this. We're almost all the way through the film. That's good, isn't it? 154.43. And then I can show you some bits from the Dune movie. The mini-series. 154.32. 154.32. So what have we got? Pink News will celebrate this. So this is proud LGBT ally Baron Vladimir Harkonnen having a bath. There's his boy servant. Because, you know, he's openly gay, was the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. He's having a bath, attended by his boy servant, who's definitely underage. And I think, when I show you in comparison with the Dune 2000 Part 3, you'll understand better this scene here. Really is downplayed. And I think, in this day and age, you know, pride and stuff like that, I think we're ready to have like a villain who is openly gay, and you know, I don't think it's going to do like a disservice to the community. You can't just show them all as, it's positive discrimination is discrimination, you know, simple as. Right, so what's this bit? 2:10:47. Here's the ugly, not Alphen. 2:10:47. What does an Alphen face look like? Let's go and see what the definition of Alphen. Alphen faces is a form of faces. Faces? A faces is a distinct face expression in appearance social. Alphen face, where the patient presents Alphen characteristics. Well, we know what elves look like. Let's get some elves. Right, here we go. Here's an example. You know, Alphen faces. So you kind of got like there's an example. You got like pointed chin, and you got the eyes sort of wide set apart. A bit Asiatic looking elf. That's an elf. See there? I mean, there's an elf. There's an elf. Alphen. Yeah, Alphen. So there we go. These are what elves look like. And, right. So now, let's show you the Dune miniseries, which I watched once and then promptly forgot about and didn't watch until for another 21 years. And then it's beautiful. So here we go. Is the Dune miniseries. Let's just go to 7 minutes in, because this scene here is like, okay, not a good casting for Paul Atreides, frankly. Not a good casting. But there's a scene in there's a chapter actually in the book of Dune where Baron Vladimir Harkonnen hates Paul Atreides, sees him and thinks he's an upstart, And so he demands a slave boy be drugged because he doesn't want much of a struggle. He's crippled by diseases, sexually transmitted diseases. So that's why he floats around suspensors. His lifestyle has led to him becoming hideously obese, crippled. So he needs the suspensor in order to move his body. So what he does for relaxation is he likes to have boys, as in males under the age of 16, drugged, naked. He rapes them and kills them. So there's one scene where a 14-year-old slave boy who looks like Paul Atreides is drugged so that Baron can have his fun with him, but he notices there's a blemish on his thigh. And this is that scene. So this is Fade Ralpha. Stinger was actually a good depiction of Fade Ralpha, but this is the now this is what Baron Vladimir Harkonnen would have looked like when he was younger, before the AIDS made him corp. Imagine like you got AIDS but you're really fat and you're crippled. But anyway.
Do you really take me for that much of a fool, boy?
I don't understand, Uncle.
Right, there we go. Yeah, it turns out the blemish, I just realised I got Portuguese subtitles on this. The blemish is because there's a hidden needle in his thigh. So the idea being that the Baron, being what he is, would have, like, you know, squeezed his thighs and then so he'd been pricked with a poison. Waves away the guards. Let's disable subtitles.
What kind of poison did you choose, boy? Something slow and painful, I assume? So you could watch, eh? Tell me, Fade, why didn't you simply assassinate me yourself? You had plenty of opportunity.
This is actually pretty good casting for Baron Vladimir Harkonnen because he is like, you know, he is fat. He's proper fat. I mean, and his face is fat and piggy as well. And the only thing is the actor is a bit too jolly. He's jolly fat. And Baron Vladimir Harkonnen is not that sort of man. But overall, it's this miniseries. I mean, it's low budget, but in terms of colours, it's got it right. He's got red hair. It's very red. And if I just go further into it, I mean, look, this is a desert scene in it. It's beautiful. They've actually gone to effort in composing like a sweeping vistas. And there's Gurney Halleck in the thing, and there's their example of a glow globe. It's not quite the same, is it? But they actually went to an effort, like saying a siege or siege. It makes it look lived in, you know. It's like it's swept clean and it's a bit dusty, but you know, otherwise they've done a good job of cleaning it up. And there's a couple of tapestries on the walls to make it seem a bit more cozy. And it's you know, it actually went different. Like, for example, there's a scene, you know, it's all red, and there's beautiful scenes as well. Let's just look at one of the previous. It's 3 parts, this mini-series. It's so if I go to the first one and go here and see, like, you know, here's a scene in. Oh no, this would have been the. Where would this have been? This is actually on Dune itself, or Arrakis, and who's he supposed to be? He's not Duncan Idaho, no. But here we got some scenes from Caladan. Just Castle Caladan. It looks a bit too much like Babylon 5 or something. It's the inside of a starship. It's not a castle. But here they go. This is Gaius Helen Mahayim doing the Gom Jabbar scene in it, and they've really gone out with the costumes. I mean, Bene Gesserit aren't supposed to be elaborate, but they had fun. They really did have fun, and you know, it's fun. And look, Gom Jabbar, it's on a finger. You could just slight little jab, dead, and But anyway, get forward for it. There we go. Gidi Prime. There's a Baron. Again, he's a bit jolly. The Baron's a bit more mean and vicious than that. Again, look, this is beautiful. This is in the... It was the official residence of the Imperial Observer, which was Count Hasimir Fenring, and Lady Margot, his wife, Bene Gesserit, he built her a garden. The garden's got airlocks on it, so the moisture can't escape because viciously dry atmosphere. It's beautiful. It's just low budget, but well, they probably spent a fair bit on it. But it's just. And you know what? I would say the acting in this is as good, if not better, than the acting in the new DunC film. And it's like the costumes are good and it's colourful and it looks like, this looks like some sort of futuristic medieval sort of thing. And there, look, it's a loot. The balisette is a loot. And you know, there's a medieval court with people in the banquet hall feasting, whilst the court jester plays his lute and Paul Atreides has a drink of spice beer with him. And just, it's good. It's just, I would say, go and watch if you don't want to read the book, then go and watch this mini-series because it's about as close to the book as you can get. Then go and watch the 1984 Dune Lynch adaptation because it is actually pretty good. The new DunC film... Nice set, shame about the actors and the music and the acting and the script and the acting and the 13B50. Anyway, thanks for watching. Go away.